If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Haolonggood has a magical way of knowing what collectors have asked for but don't receive from the market and then releasing it themselves. I felt this most acutely with the Pentaceratops, the Uranosaurus, and the Apatosaurus in 1-35, and now it's Baryonyx. There are two major branches of the spinosaurs. One is the spinosaurians, which namesake Spinosaurus all but floods the market. The other is the baryonychines, whose namesake Baryonyx is comparatively rare. I've long since lost my Carnegie Baryonyx, and I've yet to pick up the Safari Limited one. And as for some monstrosities, the less said, the better. Still, I've yet to find one with the same kind of detail and paint application that you get from PNSO and Haolonggood until now. The genus name Baryonyx means heavy claw and comes from ancient Greek, baris, which means heavy, and onyx, meaning claw. As you can imagine, this huge claw generated much excitement, with visions of violence spraying across many magazine covers at the time. And just to answer your question immediately, yes, it's here on the model, so don't worry. This is the Haolonggood Baryonyx, and like all its offerings, it comes in two color variants, listed as the green and the blue. This one, which for some reason is considered green, the Shenhuojiang one, is actually more brownish looking. You see how the purplish brown markings fade into the body, as Haolonggood is so good at doing. It's very soothing, and there's nothing jarring at all about this. You also get this gentle feel in the blue variant, the Shengshuijiang, which is a more grey-green to me. But with a flashy orange in the dorsal area. And as you can see, both are almost exactly the same in all but colour. Very nice indeed. Now, Baryonyx has been estimated with a rather generous range from 7.5 to 10 meters, or 24.6 to almost 33 feet. Now, this model measures 26 centimeters, or 10.2 inches, and so the scale can be from 1-29 to 1-38, nicely bracketing 1-35. And incidentally, this model is 9 centimeters, or 3.5 inches tall. And here's the Wonder Artistic Models 1-35 humanoid. So let's take a closer look, starting with, as always, the head. Baryonyx isn't without controversy, with material attributed to it now being assigned to other dinosaurs. Still, from general consensus, the form of the head looks like this, showing the rather deeper skull compared to Suchomimus, with a more obvious taper. And we see that in this Haolonggood model. I should note that I've seen other reconstructions with a less dramatic taper. The nostrils are retracted behind the premaxillary teeth in Spinosaurs. You see that here. In this case, I think it's a little too far retracted, where it should really sit more forward, nearer to the premaxilla. The subneural gap is a nice little notch for the lower rosette to fit in. I'm okay with articulation if it allows us to see anatomical details like this. But here there seems to be some prognatism, looking from some angles like an underbite. While you see in most skeletals the mandible is shorter. And also the seal, unfortunately, isn't good at all, with long expanses of visible gaps. And it's the case for both variants of mine. Other than that, the detail is really good, as you can expect from Haolonggood, with a nice paint application that's more complex than you might gather from the release image. Then, when it comes to the body, Haolonggood has opted for a slender, gracile appearance that you often see in older skeletals. More recent skeletals have shown a rather more robust build, such as this newer one by Dr. Scott Hartman, and this one by Dan Folks. However, the rise in the neural spines, which is often exaggerated, should be pretty incipient in Baryonyx, and I'm glad that Haolonggood has respected that here, rather than exaggerating the spines. So let's just have an overall look here, noting the very slender neck, and all that wonderful detail. They've added these central midline scutes here, which is so common, especially after suggestions that Ceratosaurus, and by inference other theropods, may have had them. And of course, the way the paint tabs just blend so beautifully and smoothly into each other. A pleasure to look at. And down the torso, and I really like how these stripes fade into the meaty central ridge. But then the speckles and the mottles down the side have a rather different patterning, and it just really lends visual interest. And then the arms. And of course that famous enlarged thumb claw that we must see in Baryonyx, the heavy claw. Very nice form in the hands and the claw tips. Then down the hind limbs. Just look at that beautiful detail down here. Now this is an area that Haolonggood does exceptionally well in all its theropods, and it just looks so good. A quick look at the underside. And then down the tail. And now a quick once-over of the other variant. I think you can see just how nice this is. The regional variation throughout the body. And the way the scales just fit together. Just really very satisfying here. Down the arms. To that heavy claw. Really liking these mottled here. Such detail, such detail. And then the thighs, the legs, feet, the underside, and finally the tail. Again, you see these dermal spines here. Alright, comparisons. First of all, let's compare the two variants directly. You can see both are well done in their respective ways, and the color does give you a slightly different feel, though both are generally very muted in their coloration. Now, Let's look at the other famous baryonychine. Here's the PNSO suchomimus, which I estimate to be 1 to 35. And it's really nice to see them together. At about the same scale of 1 to 35, you can appreciate some differences. For example, Baryonyx is smaller than suchomimus, and it's nice to see that here. And here we have the very controversial PNSO Sinopliosaurus. There was some talk about whether this could stand in for Baryonyx, so it's fitting to show the two together for you to decide. And finally, I want to show you the Dino Hazard irritator. Truly one of the most beautiful spinosaurs I've ever had. The PNSO Spinosaurus really need a 1 to 35 of this someday. Almost forgot the Wilson T-Rex. And the Cameron T-Rex. So that's it. Once again, do I really need to be a broken record talking about how good Haolonggood is in terms of paint and sculpt? The theropods have really come a very long way. Sure, there are a few things I would have liked to have seen in the anatomy, but really, if you're not into minutiae, you'll be happy. Haolonggood just keeps on giving us models of animals we wanted for a long time, or simply to fill in a gap we may not even realize we had until we see it, and always at an affordable price. And how they do that is beyond me, but I'm grateful for it, and eager to see just what other genus they'll surprise us with next. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.